Welcome, welcome, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. My name is Ian Witherspoon. I am the host, and I am between Taorminas. Hello and good evening, Lake Orion. Thank you so much. We got Sammy, we got Antonio, and we got a show. Boys, 3 topics today. Numero uno, Super Bowl. Number 2,
Michigan State, Michigan.
Michigan State, Michigan, basketball edition. Yeah. And Oakland IPFW.
Your friends from Fort Wayne.
My friends. Hello. Good to see you. All right, let's get started with a little Super Bowl. We predicted wrong. He predicted right. Give your thoughts about the game. Sorry.
Congratulations, first of all.
I hope you two realize that.
Get out of here. Talk about the game.
I hope you two realize that I am smarter than you two. Anyway.
You've got one prediction right all year long.
I hope. Well, anyway.
I can't complain. He won.
Anyway, on the game, I was it was a good game. You know what I mean? Gotta give credit to the Giants. You know what I mean for what they did. Played well defensively. That big pass from Eli to Mario Manningham, you know, that set up the and then Amon Bradshaw, you know, he did what he was supposed to do. You know what I mean?
Sit down
touchdown. You know what I mean? But
I think he was supposed to stop, but that's
yeah,
okay.
but you know,
it worked out, right?
It worked out really well at the end, and of course now you got a lot of soap operas now because everybody's talking about not only just because of the game. You got people talking about the commercials. You got people talking about the halftime show, which I thought was pure awful.
Well, we'll get to it. We'll
talk about it.
Okay, and what were your thoughts about the game?
You know what? The Giants deserved to win in many ways. They, you know, the question I ask, if only. If Rob Gronkowski caught that catch, New England wins the Super Bowl.
If only he was healthy.
If only was he healthy.
If
only Wes Welker caught that one pass from Tom Brady.
Right.
If only Tom Brady threw better than he did.
Well,
maybe New England doesn't, you know, maybe New England wins the Super Bowl.
Right.
You have to give props to the Giants with Mario Manningham. That catch was unbelievable.
Throw was unbelievable as well.
Yep, Eli Manning. I do think that Manningham should have been the MVP based upon that catch because that catch helped, you know, put the Giants in that position, even though New England did.
What about the punter of the Giants? He deserves to be the MVP. What he did to New England, he kept them deep in New England territory all night.
But
they did have a good 96-yard drive, though. New England did for a touchdown.
But Manningham was the one that, you know, he made that catch from Eli. You know, he put them in a position to win the game. Though New England did go with the plan to essentially give up the touchdown, trusting Brady at the end.
Yeah.
You wonder, that was a risky gamble.
Yeah.
That's very, very common with them. I remember back in our senior year, Lake Orion, you know, didn't Lake Orion do that against Macomb, Dakota?
Yes.
And you know how that felt. Yeah. That didn't work out too well.
Nope. I got a suggestion, though, guys. I think Bill Belichick made a huge coaching blunder. What if he would have thrown in Brian Hoyer for the last drive as opposed to Tom Brady? I think that would have been a really good idea.
His shoulder was hurt.
I'm just kidding, actually. I wanted to see your reaction. It wasn't what I wanted, but okay. But anyways, Tom Brady he didn't have a Tom Brady game. He didn't have a classic Tom Brady
He never had it in the playoffs.
He struggled against the Giants.
No.
Not against Baltimore, not against New York.
Right. So
he did well against Denver.
Hey, Denver's not a good
Well, you could have done well against Denver.
Yeah.
With your foot. Throwing with your foot.
Good point.
No, I'm just kidding. Denver's defense is not bad, but they really didn't show up that game.
You're right, but you got to give props to where credit's due. New York used their experience. You know, I'll give credit first to first to coach Etherton. Congratulations, and I'm happy for you. I'm glad. I hope you enjoyed Indianapolis. Also, give props to Tom Coughlin.
About this guy.
Tom Coughlin did very well coaching-wise.
Yeah.
Sammy picked right,
Yeah.
along with many other people who did pick the Giants.
Yeah.
You have to give Sammy props for that. And, you know, obviously a
enough props.
couple guys who are devastated. Pat Ronan, John Uglinski.
He was so
were both
sick he was
devastated.
throwing up all night.
I heard about
Yeah.
that.
Guys, let's get to the halftime show. Sam, why'd you hate it?
Terrible.
Why?
You have Mia giving out the bird,
MIA.
and then
MIA.
MIA. Oh God.
Missing in action.
Gave the bird, and then
I thought that was the best part.
Madonna was just. She was lip-cinching. What the heck are you doing?
Lip syncing.
When you're, what the heck is? I mean, like, come on.
Everyone does nowadays,
It's
man.
terrible, Madonna. I mean, the NFL. I'm sorry, the NFL's had the worst entertainment the last 2 years. I mean, like.
Nickelback performing at Ford
Nickelback
Field.
at Ford Field? I mean, like, come on.
What?
Why don't you listen to your fans for something, NFL, and book some really good entertainment for a change? Not this garbage nobody knows.
Madonna is 53 years old, you know. But I do wonder why
you
would
liked
they
the
have.
show, didn't you?
No,
you
I
liked
did
the
not.
halftime.
No, I did
No?
not. Mm-mm.
What about her at Thanksgiving this year at Ford Field?
Did she perform there?
No,
No,
it's
what if,
Nickelback.
what if she did next
What
this
if she
next
did
year?
perform?
Would you like that?
No.
Why?
You know she's from Michigan.
Yeah.
Why would people want her? Why would people don't want? People want to see Kid Rock. They want to see Eminem.
That's
No.
true. That's true.
No, Madonna is a Michigan girl. I mean, she
Even
doesn't
though-
usually put out her Michigan pride
Right,
like
right.
Kid Rock or Eminem does.
Right.
I mean, they show their Michigan pride. They
Yeah.
show their Lions pride.
Yeah. All right, commercials. What'd you guys think?
Terrible. I didn't care.
You didn't like any of them?
I didn't like any of them.
What
I
about
like the
ad?
Chrysler commercial.
What about the Chrysler ad?
Didn't
Clint
like any of
Eastwood.
them.
Clint Eastwood talking about
Nope.
You
Detroit?
didn't like
Well,
the Clint Eastwood commercial?
well, I
Did you
never
guys
paid-
watch
I
the game
never
together?
I never paid attention to the commercials.
Did you guys watch the game together
Yeah.
at your house?
Yeah, but
You didn't talk about the commercials?
I
or
never
anything?
paid
The
attention.
Star Wars commercial I liked. The one with the Star Wars commercial I liked.
Which one was that for?
I guess it was the can't remember which one it was, but it was
Well,
like.
that's all right.
Then they did the Cantina song.
Do you remember that one?
Yeah, I remember that.
I don't remember that one.
I thought it was pretty good.
Oh, okay.
But the Clint Eastwood one I think was probably the most motivational.
You enjoyed that one, huh?
Especially with, the Detroit feeling.
Yeah.
And then Clint Eastwood talking props about Detroit.
You know what that got me thinking of?
What?
Strangely enough, when he said the world will hear our engines roar, just made me think of the number 3 batter for the Tigers this summer, the number 4 batter for the Tigers.
Cabrera
Yeah,
and
this
The
is
Fielder.
sound of those bats.
Oh,
just
yeah.
Cranking homers. You know what I mean?
I could just. If
Can
I
you
could
imagine
get,
it?
If I can get tickets to a Tigers game, you know what I mean? I like to hear those bats clinging.
Maybe we'll
I
do
got a question for both of you
Maybe
guys.
we'll do a Taorminas trip. This
I got a
summer.
question for both of you guys. Do you think the Lions can get in the Super Bowl this year?
No. Maybe.
No.
Maybe, but no.
No.
Who do
but they'll
you
be in the
think the
playoffs.
Giants will repeat?
Yes.
Why?
No.
Because you look at it, the Giants have the defense. They play in the toughest division. I think Eli Manning's the real deal, and I think it's going to be a dynasty.
Ian, why?
I think you look at it, the Cowboys need to figure something out with their quarterback situation.
Eagles.
The Eagles are not going to be as bad as they were. The New Orleans Saints are going to be probably just as good.
San Francisco.
And San Fran needs to also figure out their
What
what
about
about
Green
Green
Bay?
Bay and Detroit?
Oh, I'm sorry, Green Bay, of course.
What about Detroit?
Chicago as well. I mean, you look at
Chicago is not that good.
it, look at it last year though. They won games despite, when Jay Cutler went out,
Yeah.
they really tanked it.
Do you think there's going to be any other teams that'll come in and surprise you?
Surprising teams, whoever gets Peyton Manning, whether it be the Jets,
Jets.
or you know who I think would be two. I just mentioned him. Cowboys or San Fran. Cowboys need to say goodbye to Tony Romo.
Yes.
You know?
He's getting stale.
Oh, he's terrible. He's no good.
Speaking of that is a big question. Where will Peyton Manning go if he parts ways with the Colts?
There's also Arizona is a big thought. You know, there's a lot of
Because
options.
you know the Colts will probably select Andrew Luck or Robert Griffin III.
Oh, they're going to go Luck. They're going to go Luck.
You
They're
think
gonna
so?
go Luck. Yes, absolutely. Well, any final thoughts about this past Super Bowl Sunday?
Oh, I'd like to make a special shout out to who's the name of that Patriots Tom Brady's
Bucci.
wife, Giselle Bucci.
Bunchy?
Be quiet about your man. Your man was the one who did terrible. You know, don't bash the receivers. It was Brady's fault, not. And you're bashing him for that. You're bashing the receivers for that. Please, just be a good fan and watch the game. You know, just don't go in front of the camera and just like bash the receivers about it.
They're comparing Wes
I
Welker
think
to
you
Bill
love her, don't
Buckner.
you?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
They're comparing Wes Welker to Bill Bucknell.
Same town.
Bill
Buckner,
Bill
first
Buckner,
baseman, 86 Red Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You remember what he did?
Went
And that was
between the
against
legs.
Wasn't that against New
That was
York?
against the Mets.
Mets,
Yeah,
yeah.
it was against New York. I mean,
Mets.
Yep. So just think, just another case of New York over Boston.
Yep. Well, Boston. Well, yeah, kind of. Yep. Okay.
Yep.
Any final words, Ant?
You know,
On Super Bowl.
congratulations to Giants.
Okay.
I'm glad the NFL had a season, and
Yeah.
we're looking forward to next
Get
year.
your entertainment straight, NFL. Get your entertainment straight.
Get your entertainment straight, NFL, and please join us for our next segment on Owen TV.
Did you know that you can watch ONTV on the web? How cool is that? Just surf on over to www.orionontv.org to watch your favorite on-TV show. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television.
Orion Neighborhood Television has been your community connection for the last 20 years. From local concerts and sports to resident-made original programming, we are the voice of Lake Orion. Featuring a large professional studio, ONTV can provide you with the tools you need to make a quality program. Our staff is knowledgeable, friendly, and eager to help with your program success. Your voice, your community, on TV.
Can ONTV really be a part of Orion's history? Can a 100-year-old school be moved and preserved?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, where now we are going to discuss Michigan State basketball. Boys, the scoreboard did not ring it out, but pretty much a domination at home
Yep.
for State.
Finally, the whole land of the state of Michigan is back to normal again. You know, I mean, like everybody said
At least in
about,
the views of Michigan State.
At least if you look at it from a Spartan standpoint, you know, everything is back. You know what I mean? Michigan State won. You know, Michigan State's been winning. You know what I mean? They've had a couple bad games.
Illinois.
Was one of them.
Northwestern.
Northwestern was one of them.
Yeah.
I mean, like, still, if you look at it, Day-Day's starting to play well again. I think he's going to be a big factor if State wants to do well in the NCAA tournament.
I wonder what Michigan's record is on games that they're on CBS. They've lost to Arkansas.
Mm-hmm.
They lost to Michigan State. It seems like they've been on CBS.
Illinois on CBS. The Illinois game for them is on CBS.
It seems like every game that they're having has been on CBS.
Ohio State too.
Mm-hmm. Lost to Ohio State there too. First of all, props to Michigan State. Michigan State went in there. They took care of business. They did what they had to do, which was win at home. Michigan did not play well. One thing about Michigan is, in order to stop them, you have to contain their penetration, especially
Michigan's
Trey
got no
Burke.
posts in the interior besides Jordan Morgan.
Yeah, true, but I mean, you look at with Michigan, the key is Trey Burke, and also Hardaway Jr. But Hardaway Jr. can't get going unless Burke. It's just like last year with Darius Morris. Yeah. But Michigan State had a great game plan going in. They were highly motivated, especially Draymond Green. He has not done well against Michigan.
Nope.
And then, Michigan State played well. they put themselves in a position to where they can threaten Ohio State
I think
in
they
the Big
can
Ten
win Saturday.
championship?
I believe they can win Saturday.
Why do you think that?
Because if you look at it, Derek Nix is slimmed down. I think he can match Jared Soldier one-on-one. Michigan State will not have to bring the help. You know what I mean? I think interior-wise, I think Michigan State has the advantage, even though Ohio State does have Solinger. I mean, guard-wise, it's either Appling or Kraft. I'll take Kraft, but I like Michigan State to snap that home court winning to Ohio State because I think they have the team that can do it. They got to shoot well. They got to play well.
Michigan State has not fared well on the road. They've not. I mean, you look at Northwestern. You look at Illinois. You look at Michigan.
No team in the Big Ten has fared well on the road. You want to go to Vegas and bet, take the home team in the Big Ten.
There's a reason why the Big Ten's the toughest conference
Ohio State
in
just
America.
beat Wisconsin and Madison.
There's a reason why the Big Ten's the toughest conference in America. You got at least 9 teams that are really good teams. They got about more than 15 wins. You know what I mean? I think the Big Ten could send maybe 9 to the NCAA tournament this year.
Okay.
Very possible.
Let's talk about the tournament and our 2 schools from Michigan. Where do you see, what's the highest ceiling for each team in the tournament?
Michigan State can probably get a high 3, low 2.
No, I'm not talking seeding. I mean, how far do you think they'll make it?
In the Big Ten tournament?
Yeah.
I think Michigan State, I think they make it the Big Ten championship game. I think they make
Wait.
the Big Ten
No, I mean, I'm sorry. I mean the
You're talking about NCAA tournament?
Yeah. How far do they go?
I'm going to say Elite 8.
You think Elite 8?
State, yep.
That's kind of
Elite
where
8.
my thoughts are. What do you
I think it depends where the selection committee places both teams, Michigan State and Michigan. The selection committee has a case of having not the greatest of matchups. As far as Michigan, they'll give Michigan maybe the benefit of the doubt because of this tough schedule they've played. Michigan State, they might put Michigan State. It really depends on where they feel the seedings are. I mean, it's still too early to speculate. I think that a lot of it will depend on what happens the rest of the way. Then you have the Big Ten tournament, which will decide a lot of things.
Well,
But also, don't forget Gene Smith,
Yeah.
the Ohio State athletic director,
Right.
is the head of the NCAA tournament selection committee.
Well, a lot of people nationally are saying Michigan State could possibly be a Final Four team.
Maybe.
It's
Do you
possible.
see it happening?
It's possible, but it depends on, Anthony's right, it depends on the matchup.
Right.
If they get a good matchup, Final Four is likely.
It's all about matchups. It's
Right.
I think as I've said this last week, as I said this a couple of weeks ago in terms of Michigan State. In terms of when they're under the radar, they tend to do better in the tournament
very
when they're
true.
under the radar.
That's very true.
When they're in the spotlight,
Not good.
they just don't do very well.
Look at last year when they were the number 2 seed in the preseason. Quickly tanked.
Yep, they quickly. A lot of that was that team was very stale from last year.
What do you think about Michigan and their? Do you think what's their ceiling in the tournament?
I
The Big
think
Dance.
I think it will obviously it depends on the seeding.
Right.
I can
I think
see.
they're a 5 seed.
I think
Yeah.
Michigan will be.
You think they can win 2 games in the tournament?
I think they can win.
Is that overachieving?
I think that's a little bit overachieving. I think it really depends on who they play.
Yeah, obviously. Yeah.
Obviously, they took Duke to the limit last year.
Right.
They beat a not very good Tennessee team last year. Well, that was at a point where Tennessee was struggling before Oakland took them down.
Yep.
Tennessee was very good before Oakland took them down last year.
Yep.
And then I think, but back to Michigan, I think Michigan, they have a chance to be special. It just depends. And also, if they're shooting well, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
Ultimately, you have to shut down. Michigan is just like the same team they were last year. That's what I'm thinking about.
Yeah.
I don't think they've really, really, if you looked at it, they replaced Morris and they replaced him with Burke.
Yep.
Michigan technically is the same team as they were last year.
Pretty much. That all being said, it would be great to see a rubber match of these 2 teams in the Big Ten tournament, huh?
I think
Yeah.
you're going to see it.
Yeah.
I think you'll see it.
I think it's very, very possible that you could see Michigan and Michigan State play again in the Big Ten tournament. I can see it
If
happening.
that happens, what do you look for in that game?
Michigan State's going to kill them on the boards, and I think that Michigan State is going to dominate Michigan again, like they did in East Lansing.
I think it'll be a little bit more of a tougher game. I just think that if you look at the two teams, Michigan State's the better team.
Absolutely.
But I think if Michigan shoots well against them, then they've got a chance. To give props to Michigan State, they shut down Michigan's strongest point is shooting the basketball. Michigan didn't shoot well in East Lansing. I think a lot of that goes to their defense. A lot of it also goes to the zone. Obviously, you don't give the fans a lot of credit, but I mean they deserve a lot of credit for obviously heckling Michigan.
Right.
You know.
Any final thoughts on the matchup?
I think if you look at it, I think Michigan State, well, if they play well, they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
I think you never say never. It really depends on the matchups. I think if you look into the conference standings, it's possible they could meet again, but who knows? We'll see what happens at the Big Ten tournament.
When we get back, we're going to discuss a little more college basketball, this time Oakland and America's most hated team. You're watching Between Taorminas.
Can ONTV really change the way you see Orion? Can a community hold a talent show to raise mental health awareness?
ONTV, a part of Orion's history since 1986. Video classes are now enrolling. Call 248-693-3377 to reserve your seat today. A service of Orion Neighborhood Television. This is you, and this is your community. You have a great idea, but how do you get that idea to your community? ONTV has your answer. You see, ONTV is a part of your community. We help you get your idea on cable, so everyone you know will learn about your great idea. So, what are you waiting for? Get your idea on cable and into your community. Get your idea on TV.
Welcome back to Between Taorminas, boys. We talked college basketball with the big boys, MSU, U of M. Let's get to let's knock it down a rung here. Let's talk a little Summit League. And we got a great matchup tomorrow at Oakland. IPFW invades the Athletic Center Arena. Guys, what do you think?
It's going to be an interesting game. I mean, if you look at it, I know I've been bashing Oakland's three-point defense,
You owe an apology.
Yeah, and I owe Greg Campy an apology for that.
Say it.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, Greg Campy.
Mr. Campy.
Coach Campy.
Sorry. Anyway, what I think about this game is IPFW, they had a guy that went off on Oakland, the interior, in Fort Wayne. It's an interesting matchup, but I think with Oakland being at home, I think, they're playing, both teams have nothing to lose. I think this is a bigger game for IPFW because of seeding. I can see Oakland winning it, but I think it's going to be a lot closer because usually Oakland tends to play close games at home with IPFW, with the Mastodons.
You're thinking last year was IPFW Oakland?
Yeah, they needed Reggie Hamilton, a defensive block to beat IPFW.
Well, I think that it's going to be a really, really good game between Oakland and IPFW. IPFW's been on a massive losing streak. I would say.
Yay.
Wow. Okay. I think that
Fort Wayne.
I think that it'll be a very, very competitive game. IPFW always has very competitive games against Oakland. I think that if for Fort Wayne to do well, they've got to have Gaines do well. They've got to have Hines do well. But I do think that Oakland is the better team. They're at home. They've got the best guards in Reggie Hamilton. Travis Bader also doing very well. He had 37 points against South Dakota State. 10 threes.
Goodness.
Reggie Hamilton had 40 against Western Illinois.
9 threes against Western Illinois in double overtime. I would say that I do think seeding is very, very important for both teams. Oakland's obviously fighting for the 4th seed with Southern Utah and Western Illinois. IPFW is fighting for the 7th, 8th seed, even the 9th seed.
Yeah.
And then the 9th seed means that you can't get in the tournament.
Right.
And so I think that it's a big game for both sides in terms of seeding. why that 4th seed is important is that you get Oral Roberts in the 2nd round. And I look at the teams that Oral Roberts, whether who they want to see and they don't want to see. Oakland ranks on the top of the list in terms of who they don't want to see.
He loves Oral Roberts.
I don't think he does.
I think he does.
No, he doesn't.
We talked about that earlier, though.
Well, I look at it from this perspective. I think I mean, if you look at it, in my honest opinion, I think Oral Roberts is primed to go down in the, you know, if you look at the women last year when the women's team played, Oakland was the 4th seed, Oral Roberts was the top seed, and Oakland just tore them to shreds.
In the semis,
In
yes.
the semis, you know what I mean? I think
97-62.
there's really, I think it could happen again. I mean, like,
the men.
even in the men, even though Oral Roberts does have more experience than Oakland.
Oh, I don't agree with you at all there. Oakland's got more. I think if you looked at it, Oakland and Oral Roberts does return everyone, but Oakland's got their fair share of experience. Oakland played Oral Roberts tough in Tulsa. Oral Roberts is not going to beat Oakland 3 times. I can tell you that right now. I think because if you looked at how Oakland played in Tulsa, Oakland shot well. It had to take, you know, Oral Roberts did play well with Niles and all that, and Morrison, but I mean, Oral Roberts, there's no way that Oral's going to beat Oakland 3 times. There is just no way. I am not being mean to you. It's just not going to happen.
I can see it happen. I mean, like, I can see Oakland winning against Oral Roberts.
I
mean,
agree.
Like, I said it the other day. I did make my new projection for the Summit League championship game. Now I think it's going to be South Dakota State versus Oakland in the Summit League championship game. Mark my words.
I think that it will.
I don't want you to predict who wins, though.
I think that it'll be
Unless
a
you
really,
predict
really.
South Dakota.
I think it'll be a really good game there. I think ultimately, if you look at the seedings, the way it's going to go down, I would like to see IUPOI, the 8th seed, play Oral Roberts. I would like to see. Yeah, they can beat them.
They can beat them.
I would like to see North Dakota State, South Dakota State in the semis. Oral Roberts against Oakland, and you've got the dangest final, you know, right there, because you look at Oakland can, and I feel they will, knock off Oral Roberts. And then I look at South Dakota State, North Dakota State. If you've went to a game where down there, it is intense, it's emotional. I mean, both their fans are very emotional. It'd be the first time they meet in the tournament. I think that it would be I think, you know, you can go either way with those 4 teams.
Final thoughts on the matchup tomorrow.
It's going to be a good one, I think. If you look at it, you know, I thought IPFW, they had to win the game in Fort Wayne. They didn't do that. You know, I think it's going to be between a 5 and 7 point game again, but I think I see Oakland coming out top tomorrow.
Oakland's the better team. Oakland's the more experienced team. I think I've said this before, where if it comes down to an all guards game, Oakland's going to have the advantage. I think that's what's going to happen tomorrow. I think Oakland wins tomorrow. I do think IPFW will get in the tournament still, but I just don't think it'll be at Oakland's expense.
I can see IPFW in 7th seed.
I can too.
Okay. Well, our question of the day. Lucy from Laguna Beach would like to know, what do you guys think Ian Witherspoon's best look is in regards to mustache or sans mustache?
I think you need to shave it off, period.
Okay.
I think in terms of your looks, I think with the beard you've been keeping consistent in terms of your beard, in terms of your mustache, but on a personal scale, I do think you look better clean shaven.
Oh.
I think you get a lot more attraction. People start digging you more.
Oh.
If you have a clean shaven look, such as your introduction on the show.
Oh, right. It's a nice tight close up.
I think that's a really good observation of you. I think with your beard, it does make you feel like a grown man.
Sure.
But I do think in terms of like getting girls or something like that, I'd have a clean shaven look.
Well, now.
What do you think?
I like in the wintertime to let it go, to go a little grizzly, kind of a little edge, a little devil may care look, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
What my question to you, and Lucy, I guess I have to shave, When are you good boys going to grow out the beard a little bit?
I'm gonna shave real soon.
Why?
Cause I don't look good.
You look great.
I don't look good. I want to shave the stash off.
I have a lot of strange looks. I have the clean shaved look. I'll have the beard look. A lot of people criticize when I have the beard because they say that I look a little too, they tend to see that I tend to look a little bit more Muslim. No offense to Muslims or
Oh, that's
anything like
fine.
that.
You can look. It's a good look.
I mean, and then also I will have my mustache. A couple of times I have in the past when I was younger.
Yeah.
I would have my I would
Hitler?
shave. Yeah, I would have the infamous Hitler stash.
We don't know if we want that back.
No, or I would just shave this off right here and just keep this
The
right
Mussolini.
here. No, not the Mussolini
Oh.
look.
Oh, okay.
Mussolini had a very different look compared to that.
My next question. When are we all three going to do the track coach look? And by track coach, I mean thick, boisterous, wonderful, luscious mustache and nothing else.
Well, the schedule's already out. I mean, like.
Well, we'll talk about it, but I'm talking strictly about a mustache.
Probably
Can we
not.
do it this year, guys?
No,
the three of us?
Probably not.
Just a mustache.
No.
My mom would
No.
love. My mom
No.
loves the mustache
No.
look, but
No.
probably not.
No.
What about your mom?
No.
What if we bet on it?
No.
Let's try to figure out a bet.
No.
Oh, man. Nothing?
Nothing.
Nothing.
Nada.
All right. Well, I tried.
You tried.
I'm going to keep trying too. All right, listen, thank you for joining us. And next week, I'm sure we'll have some more ridiculous banter about maybe something else that's also weird. Huh?
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
We're
Sounds
weird
good?
people.
We're weird people. God bless you all. Thank you for watching Between Taorminas.
I know on TV.